Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Akashic Healing Series. And you all know my good friend, Sun Psychic Jean. Oh, I
I
can't hear you.
muted, sorry. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. Thanks for inviting me back again, Terry. It's going to be a really beautiful show, a beautiful healing event.
Yeah, thank you for coming. It makes it so much easier to do this with you here. And I am very excited to see who's here. I know that our good friend Starfish Jenny, she's going to be busy right now, but she's already said yes. Yes, I am part of this healing. So, oh, and look, we have Tropical Empress and Spirit. Wow, thank you for coming. Martha Bean, Lark Kemper. Um, Lark is sending energy. That's good. Oh, Starfish. Yes, 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 yes. I hope you're not driving, Starfish. Um, Raj, a light 777, Linda Kelser, oh, Priscilla and Heather of the Crone Zone, Carolyn Adams, probably have missed somebody, but thank you so much for coming. Um,
So, do you know who Tropical Empress is? Is that somebody that has changed their name?
I don't know.
Oh, let us know if that's a new name for you, Tropical.
Um, yeah, because I have not seen you before in the chat or seen that name before, so I'm so happy you're here. Okay, well, I don't want to say today might be shorter, but because every time I say it's going to be shorter, it's not. So, today, my Akashic Records masters have prepared a healing that is just a healing. So, no clearing this time, no going back in time. This is going to be just a healing for today and into the future. And as I've been talking to them, and what they do is they clue me in about a day ahead what the focus is going to be, and a little bit about it, like why this is important, just a little bit. And then the day of today, then they give me the how we're going to do it. So in this case, this is really more like an upgrade. Um, they want to do a healing that starts now, that goes into the future, um, that builds upon a lot of the healings they've already done. So that's really cool. Um, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about it here. So what I want to do first is before that we go into the healing, I want to tell you a little story because it's going to apply to what they're going to have you visualize during this healing. Some time ago, I was at a in-person uh, metaphysical fair, and a lady came and wanted healing for a relation. She had really hurt her relationship. In fact, killed it. It wasn't going to happen anymore. But she knew it was her. She knew she had done it, and as she asked me to find out if she was ever going to have another relationship ever again. But once I tapped into her spirit, an angel showed up. And for me, when the angel shows up, they show up with this big drop of fluid. It means that they want to do a healing. And they told her what the healing was about, and they agreed. She agreed to the healing. And what they showed me was so interesting. It was like the white cliffs of Dover or something, some chalky cliff. And there she was, picking at this cliff. And as I took a longer look at it, it didn't exactly look like her. It was her, but it was something that looked closer like to a caveman. And she was frenetically picking at this, and this is what she had done to her relationship. She had just frenetically picked at it because she was so fearful. But what they were showing me was her lower self, her low vibrational self. So in this case, the reason I'm telling you that is because we're going to ask you to take a look at the three levels of you that I kind of know about a little bit. The low vibrational you, the you now, which is, higher vibrational than that, and then the highest vibrational you, which is probably you that you on the other side, or where we're headed for, where we want to be. So with
I
that
love
in
that,
mind,
Terry. I have to say that the way that you saw her as like a caveman type style reminds me of the evolution, because we have evolved past that Cro-Magnon man's type state, and we've evolved into this state, and now we're going through another evolution again to the higher 5D, higher frequency, higher vibration, higher density, whichever way you want to describe that. And I think it's really important for me, especially. And I love the way that you're so visual, that it makes sense for me to have that as being like a Cro-Magnon or a caveman type of imagery of our lower self, or more dense version of ourself. And now that we have this persona or this experience, and maybe perhaps what we may be aspiring to is more of a light filled, more of a less dense, more fluid type of an energy that we might be wanting to move into. I think that's just beautiful. Thank you for that.
uh,
I've heard you say that several times before, but it just always hits exactly at the right moment for me. So thank you.
oh, thank you. So the focus of healing today is going to be insight and perception. So in a way, they're just upgrading those things for us. At first, they kind of showed it to me like they're removing one veil, as if the veils that are between us and spirit are many, many, many little gauze veils. And they're like, we're just going to take one little gauze veil away. And like, that's lovely. I love it. I love to have that taken away. So, what, let's see, so we're going to request that spirit infuses us with increased insight, perception, intuition, and knowledge to help us in this life and future lives. So we're going from right now to the future. Um, Part of this is to make us less negatively reactive. When somebody gets in our face and starts doing something we don't like, to help us be able to take a step back and see kind of spiritually what's happening. Um, I adore it when spirit lets me see that. It it doesn't happen very often, but it is truly amazing when it happens. Um, some people who follow me on Facebook may have seen a couple months ago I put a picture of my mother-in-law's house in Japan of the Genkan. The Genkan is the dirty place of the house. When you open the front door of every Japanese house, there's a lower area in tile. You take your shoes off there, it's the dirty area. And then you step up onto the wood. And you reverse this process to leave. And I was the last one to leave the house that day. There's plenty of shoes in the Genkan, I can tell you that. It's where all the shoes live. They don't go to your room. Um, And my mother in law, despite the fact that she's nearly 80 and she's going to work, she's going to walk to work, took the time to put my shoes right in the middle of the Genkan so that all I had to do was step down into my shoes and leave. My shoes weren't that far away. I had kind of tossed them over to the side. I could have easily put my feet in them and gone over, but she kind of cleaned it and just put my shoes, only my shoes right there. She could have hurried to work. She didn't have to do it, but I suddenly felt the love. Like, oh my God, she loves me. She loves, and it's just such a simple act. And so I just noticed spirit acting, and I was just, it touched me so much. But I also recognized a change in my behavior. I remember in the past, like just before I started this spiritual journey, um, I would it had something bad happened to me. I would have known, okay, they're going to have a life review, and boy, aren't they going to be shocked when they find out how much they hurt me, and how sad I was about all this, and they deserve it. And I noticed that I had changed, and what I thought was, isn't she going to be so excited during her life review to see how thrilled I am that she did this for me? just 360, a whole different way of looking at it. So that is the kind of upgrade that they're aiming us for, where that we no longer take offense, but we still take I am showing that they're taking offense in a little higher manner than before, but not good, not good. I'm still interested in them being punished rather than me sharing love, you know. So that's what this is about. It's going to help us notice these things faster and maybe in a way we've never noticed before. So, with that being said,
That's a beautiful description and a way for us to remember to do that. That was I just that it's a difference, it's a shift, it's a new way of elevating our actions, our thoughts, and our behavior. I think they all, and our words, and
mhm,
especially our words to ourselves. That was very well demonstrated or given an example of how we're going to be doing that.
mhm, yep. So, I am going to say the prayer protection now, and then we're going to say the key. So, uh, everyone, of course, can join in the prayer of protection. And then in the key, if you want to be part of this healing, whether you're watching now or on the replay, you just say yes. It'd be nice if you said yes in the chat and in the comments if you're watching on the replay, because then we know how many people, if people are really receiving this. So here's the prayer of protection. We are surrounded by the pure white light of divine source. We connect ourselves to Metatron's grid of opalescent light that helps us be more firmly connected to our higher selves. We ask Archangel Michael to protect and guide us, and we call forth all of our angels, guides, beings of light, and Akashic Records masters and ascended masters to help us now receive information of the highest truth, the highest frequency of light and love, allowing us to receive exactly what we need for our greatest good and the greatest good of humanity. And so it is. Okay. So I'm going to say the Akashic Records key. This opens your records. This is why you're saying yes. Um, what I'd like you to do, I'm going to take a few deep breaths, and I'd like you to do those with me. And then I'm going to have you focus on your crown chakra, kind of around your head. That's kind of where this quantum field hangs out. You may feel tingles. You may see fireworks a little. You might feel I felt like a heavy fur hat on my head. Um, it, you may feel nothing. That's okay always, but I just wanna let people know because sometimes it surprises them a little bit. So, we open ourselves to the light, and with this light, we open ourselves to our truth. And with this light, we open ourselves to our soul's purpose. And with this light, we open ourselves to be guided towards our highest good and the highest good of all in divine love. And so the people watching this broadcast now and watching the replay are given the truth to best serve them on their healing journey into the love and acceptance that is most beneficial for them at this moment. I'm going to repeat that silently twice. And with this light and guidance, we unlock the energy field of the people watching now and the people watching on the replay to receive the record of their soul. Okay. So they would like you to visualize because remember, this time is happening now and in the future, but not in the past. So remember that story I told you about the lower vibrational version of ourselves, the higher vibrational version of ourselves now, and the highest vibrational version of us eventually. So right now they would like you to envision your body. And if you can't, if you're not very visual, however you perceive your body, whether it's a sound or a smell or a feeling, just let your spirit take up the room in your um, vision, for lack of another word, however you see that or experience that. And they want you to look to the left. And for me, the left is the past, and they want you to look at the low vibrational you, that slightly caveman-y looking version of yourself, the one that has had to fight and scrap for everything that it gets, and bring your vision back to the center. Take a good look at you. For me, you kind of look like a tree, and all of the branches and the roots and the, I don't know, capillary action between those, it's all lit up in white light. And now they'd like you to look to the right. And for me, the right is the future. And see how you look in the future. Maybe you'll see yourself, maybe you won't. What I see is just a big old ball of white light. Just kind of a sparkly white light. And they want you to come back to the center and look at yourself again. They want you to think about how far you've come. How far you've come from that low vibration to a much higher vibration, and where you're going to go to an even higher vibration. They want you to know that we'll go on this journey many, many times. This is just a small upgrade, a small step towards that higher version of yourself. And they've also shown me that it's like veils, and they're like removing one thin veil, a gauzy veil, so you can see a little better. This healing is to improve your insight and perceptions. So now, while you're looking at yourself again, I want you to imagine that your Akashic Records masters are surrounding you. If you can't picture that, just call them in. Just say, Akashic Records masters, please come heal me now. And now we invite your whole spiritual team, please come and heal us. Now that we have them assembled, so what I've noticed in this healing is that they are all stretching their palms out towards you. They're not exactly touching your body, they're like touching your etheric field, your energy field. And it's like they're wiping away that veil. They're wiping away just a little thing that's keeping you from having the best insight and the best perception. So the healing that they're going to give you, they've told me, is going to allow you to see things better. It's going to allow you to stop and notice when spirit is interacting in your life or when spirit is interacting in other people's life. Because it is incredibly joyous and wonderful to see these things happen. And we miss it every day. Every day we miss a teeny bit of love being shown to us. And so this is going to be a new and improved you. Okay. So in this prayer, there's going to be 2 times that you can add words. When I ask them to infuse us with insight and perception, you can add any word you want. Also, any way that idea presents to you. If they put any words in your head like intuition or knowledge or empathy, add those into the chat. And then there'll be a secondary spot where if there's anything that you want, these things, this is not a clearing per se, but they're going to replace these energies. If you have something you want them replaced with, go ahead and put that in too. And Jean is going to read those out loud, which is super fabulous. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to take some more deep breaths again. I want you to concentrate on your crown chakra again. Dear Akashic Records Masters, for the people participating in this broadcast and the people that will watch it later, I request an immediate and incremental healing to improve our insight and perception when we see the work of spirit. please increase our spiritual eyes, our spiritual knowing. And go ahead and put your words up of how you want this increased. We request that you infuse us with the increased insight, perception, intuition, and knowledge to help us in this life and future lives. Jean, do we have any?
Love,
Linda did. Go
love
ahead.
and gratitude. High frequency. There's anything else that you would like to increase the insight and perception? Any other way that you can describe it that would mean that for you? How would that manifest for you? Insight, perception, intuition, all clairs.
Yes.
Creativity.
Yes. And if you think of something later, just add it in. They will hear you.
Mindfulness.
Fine.
Okay, go ahead and I'll pop them up while you're continuing.
Okay, that's wonderful. I ask that this healing be applied to our current life and in all lives, in all dimensions, all cellular structures, all space and time, in the space between lives, in astral lives, and in all timelines, for the highest good of each person listening and humanity. Each person will remember that they have been upgraded from a lower vibrational energy to higher vibrational energies. Those old thoughts will be replaced with curiosity, excitement, love, and oh, look at some of those.
Joy, acceptance of self and others, all resistance, serenity, mindfulness, creativity, peace and love, joy. Oh, this is a that's a that was a show on its own, wasn't
Yeah,
it? Clarity. That's beautiful. Peace. Yeah.
yes. So this healing will be ongoing in this life and in the future. Um, Dear Akashic Records Masters, please restore each person to the highest timeline, to the being they were always meant to be, to facilitate the steps to spiritual freedom for the highest good of each participant and humanity. Dear Akashic Records Masters, thank you. Wow. So, wow. I notice Trancing with Spirit, Sherry. She says, I don't know, that may sound weird, but that's in the best interest of my spirit and gunman body for the most benevolent outcome possible to place me on my highest possible path for the good of me. Yes, yes. Wow. Whew. Well, I also want to, well, actually, maybe, Jean, should we close first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, before we get into any discussions. So, wow. So, I am going to do the closing. As always, What I want you to do is think about whether you want your records closed or that you want the records closed to me and others, but open to yourself. Now, they're always open to you. Your own are always open to you. But um, the reason they've kind of told me about this is because that they want people to know that you can keep the conversation going. You don't need anything special from me or anybody else. You can keep the conversation going with them. So I'm going to put that in there. And if that's the way you want the records, that's the way you can choose. So I'd like to close by thanking the light for the truth. I would like to close by thanking the light for the healing energy. And I would like to close by thanking the light for the guidance and compassion towards our soul's purpose. And with this, I lock the records of all the people in the audience and in the replay, but leave them open to those who want to continue the conversation with their Akashic Records masters. The records are now closed. Okay.
Another deep breath, everybody.
And water.
We always like to recommend drinking water after this healing
Yeah.
and healings like this.
Yeah.
And now we're going to talk a little bit about what to expect from this healing. And I see that somebody had a question. Can this heal stress-induced brain fog?
Yes. Well, I don't know if just this healing alone can, but you can also watch some of the old healings. But I think the secret of this whole thing is that you can put in the words that you want healed. If that stress induced brain fog is causing you to not see what's happening around you or what yourself is doing or others in the way that God might see it, then yes, this can help you. So, because that's what we want to do. We want to try to catch love in action. That's what we're really trying to do here. So if that helps you do that, you can put that in here for sure. Um, I noticed two things I wanted to point out that Caroline and Priscilla, the Crown Zone, that their crowns are all tingly. Mine is too, but I have to say there's something else going on that is going on with the Crown Zone. Here, right here. Uh, Priscilla's ears are ringing, frequency high, crown is tingling. Yes, ever since I started this, so I think I told you people before that I have tinnitus at two different levels in my ear. One's a little higher than the other. But for some reason, as I was preparing for this, it got so loud. It's at some different frequency altogether. It's still loud. I don't know why. So it must be very high frequency right now. So I think Priscilla, yeah, you and I are both feeling this.
Absolutely. And if you don't mind, I wanted to talk a little, answer T. Lynn's question in in a different sense that this is our own intention. It's each individual person's own intention. That's why we make a suggestion of what to focus on, whether it's clarity, whether it's perception. We give you a focus on what to heal, and then we ask each person what that looks like to them, what that feels like to them, and it is your own intention for insight and perception. So if this clearing is on insight and perception. If your brain fog is causing you difficulty or challenge with insight and perception, then that is for you. And it is our own intention. We are participating in the healing. It is a group healing. When we get together, all of the energies are magnified, and whether you're here now or later, they're all magnified, and the healing abilities are increased and amplified. So for you, that would look like this, and then you would put into the chat that you would like to reduce the brain fog and increase clarity. Cognition. Oh, you wrote that: cognition, clarity, and your clairs. So you did do that the right way there, T-Lin. I was making sure. um if brain fog hindered the effectiveness.
Um,
I think it would just challenge the ease of the task, or the what you're trying to do, but I don't think it would hinder the effectiveness. I think that our intention is much stronger than brain fog, because brain fog is a human uh, symptom, and intention is spiritual. That's what I think. How about you? What would you say, Terry?
I would agree with that. That this, if her intentions are to get more clarity, I think that's exactly what they'll give her. And I like how you said that, because we're all at different levels of um, vibration or knowledge or whatever. And I would also have to say that for me, sometimes I'm way up here, sometimes I'm, we vary. We're a work in progress. That's what we are. And so this is something that I think that works. And I think it works over time too. I have noticed that when I started this series, that while a lot of times it would happen right away, sometimes I would notice that I wouldn't see the effects for about 2 weeks, or I would notice the effects in 2 weeks. So, um, yeah.
And we're all in control of how much healing we're receiving, or how little healing we're receiving. If it feels like it's a little too much or overwhelming for you, you have the ability of stepping back that intention. It's your own intention. So we are inviting this healing in. And if we feel as though we're getting dizzy, we would ask the invitation to the healing to step back a little. If we're not, maybe too much, we may just want to do it in practice, or in words, instead of in focus and in concentration. It's different for everybody, but it never is anything that is ever harmful. It is never anything that is out of our control. We individually are in control of our own healing, and allowing the energies and the frequencies to come in as needed, and we are the ones to say how much and when to stop. So everybody's in control of their own healing.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I am so happy that people have really interacted, and the lots of chat here. I believe Tropical Empress in Spirit, that she says, when I do breathing in techniques, I breathe in gold light and exhale black smoke to clear me. But if I remember right, a little bit back, she also saw a black orb turn to gold
Oh, wow.
while she was doing this exercise. So that's really cool. I also like Rush, thoroughly starving right now. Rush, I can see that. I can see that because the other day I was reading on a different show, and somebody had wanted us to look at how they had stomach problems, and were they going to be healed. And I had just gotten back from Japan, and for some reason my guide spoke to me in Japanese about it and said, they said, "Onaka ga genki desu," meaning onaka, the middle, the guts, the stomach, they're fine. But then they followed it up with onaka ga suita desu, which means hungry, hungry for, and what they were really saying was hungry for spiritual advancement. So, uh, you might be both right now. That would be great.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah. So, well, I think it's time to go. It was a little shorter. See, only 40 minutes this time. So there we go. That's about how I want these to go, about 40 minutes so that people can get in here, get some healing, and get back out there and do stuff. So, everybody, thank you so much. You won't see me for about a week and a few days because I have jury duty this week. So, I have cleared my schedule. We won't have another one on Tuesday. Jean very, very graciously cleared spot in her schedule for today. Thank you so much, Jean. And I saw that you did a lot of shows today, so I'm very happy about that. That you worked me in. But so you get a vacation from me for a week, um, and I will be back next Tuesday, hopefully, with a new healing, whatever they decide to heal. So I wait till they tell me, and then I put it up on my communicate page so you know what we're going to do. And yeah, thanks, Rush. I'm excited for jury duty because, but I don't think I'm going to get it because I don't think anybody wants a psychic medium on their jury. I don't think I'm going to be picked. Okay, okay, everybody. Bye.
Bye,
Have a
everybody.
great weekend. Great start of your week. Thank you.